Welcome back to Whiskey Trek. I'm Jackson.
I'm Natalie.
And still today, we're going to be reviewing Old Fitz 7.
Okay.
Not so new to Whiskey Tube, but new to us. Heaven Hill release, which complements the Heaven Hill 7-year bottled and bond.
Ooh, well, let me just look at that jacket real quick. Ugh.
First things first, you notice the green jacket it comes in,
You
which...
look really good in this color, by the way.
Thank you. What I will say is that jacket.
Oh, I thought we were done talking about the jacket.
Oh, that's fine. What I was going to say is, it looks really nice. It feels kind of crap.
Yeah, it's a little thin and papery.
But, who are we complaining? So,
We're here for this.
yes, and this is a $65 bottle of whiskey, which comes with a jacket, whether crappy or not. It also comes in a really beautiful bottle with one of the best looking corks you'll ever see on the market, especially at this price. It's not metal, it is wood, but it is just such a cool cut. The bottle shape is a really nice take on the classic Old Fitz decanter for something that you can mass produce more. It has the ridges, you know, like it looks very sharp. So Old Fitz 7, it is the same mash bill as Larceny from Heaven Hill. The other thing that it is the counterpart to the Heaven Hill 7-year bottle and bond, which is just their normal corn and rye bourbon. So this should be a shelf staple like that Heaven Hill 7-year is. So whichever your preference for Heaven Hill mash bills is, you should be able to find it. Well, Heaven Hill's weeded mash bill, Old Fitz, but it's not a decanter. This is actually the first Old Fitz I've ever owned. So, pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and see how it smells. A little muted. It might be my lack of amount in the Glen, but I get a nice like fruit note,
You do?
some breadiness.
Yeah, bread for sure. Like sourdough bread.
Oh, I don't get sour. It doesn't smell sour to me.
I'm not impressed with the nose.
A little more, maybe I'll get a little bit more out of it though. It still feels a bit empty to me on the nose.
Yeah. I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah, I remember there being a little bit more. So the nose is a bit empty. I mean, I don't get anything offensive.
No.
It's sweetish and it's fruity, barely, and it's bready. The more you go back to it, the more I get like it's weird to say this, but rye bread?
Okay.
It's weird to say that because it's a wheated bourbon. It's not like mostly rye as a secondary grain. So like it's weird to say rye bread, but there's a little bit of the spice. I think it's coming from the 100 proof. And then complementing that breadiness, you know, that kind of sounds stupid. Rye bread's not spicy. Why would I say that?
Well, it is getting better and better every time I go back. Like, I never hated it to begin with, but
No. And peppery is kind of picking up there.
definitely.
I gotta start saying stuff that actually makes sense, that the viewers actually like trust my opinions and stuff.
Hurry up, babe. Do better.
Well, fine. All right, let's go ahead and have a taste.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
For 100 proof, great mouthfeel.
I was gonna say, okay, it's keep being redeemed.
I think it's a very nice caramel, definitely weeded. You can 100% tell that this is a weeded bourbon, which if that's not your mojo, this isn't for you. It tastes about where it is, although I will say, I think for 7, you might expect a little more oak influence, or maybe a little less of a grain influence. I mean, other than like wheat, I mean more like grainy, like you can kind of pick up on some of the more youthful notes of the whiskey itself. Let's go for a second sip and see how it changed. Second sip, less of that grain forward youthful notes.
I was just about to talk about wheat bread, but
No, I mean but that's fine. Like you kind of expect that. What I kind of look for in like youthful is like sharp or green or bright. And it is a little bright, but not in like a bad way. I think it kind of makes it a little bit more effervescent. That's a pretty cool word.
This is a very cool word.
Yes. So, palate, would you agree on these things? Nice and sweet.
Yeah, I would say that.
Bready.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of pepper sprinkled in there.
That's the first note I got.
The first? Okay, see, that's the lingering note that I get.
I got black pepper immediately. And then it got sweet to me. We got there. At least we're agreeing on all the same stuff.
I see what you mean. The front of your tongue gets that pepper spice, and then it goes sweet, and then it goes bready.
But I like what you said about the aftertaste, though.
Yeah. I think any type of fruit you might get on the nose is not present at all on the palate. But that's okay. I mean, I'm not really here looking at Old Fitz for that note itself. If I wanted fruit, I'm going Buffalo Trace, you know, or MGP or something like that. I think, what would you say, what grade do you think you would give this at $65?
A C+ or a B-.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'll go B or B-. I'm kind of right there on that line. I'm not sure. I don't think it's definitely not an A. It's right there on the B to B- range for me.
Right, because it's not bad, and C is that territory where you're like, ooh.
I think if you really like weeded, or you really like Heaven Hill, or I mean maybe you're just a huge weeded Heaven Hill fan, then in theory this will be a shelf staple for a while. Coming up in the next few months, you should start seeing it more regularly where you're at per Heaven Hill. That's what they say. So don't go on secondary for it, but you should be able to find this in your stores. And if that's your jam, or if you really just like weeded, or you just really like Heaven Hill, I think it's a buy. I think if you aren't sure about Heaven Hill, or you're not a huge weeded fan, I would say try it before you buy it at that point. But the worst you're gonna get is a decent bottled and bond that you can keep on your shelf. And I mean, who hates that?
Who hates that?
I think for my money, I prefer 1792 bottled and bonds.
Okay.
Just because I think some store picks from 1792 bottled and bonds can just be incredible. But this is going to be more consistent than store picks, and I think that this is a really great value. I think great value is a strong term. I think it's a decent value. It's good whiskey. Well, that'll do it for us today on Whiskey Trek. Make sure you come back for the next video. Check out our merch site for more like this. We promoted that at the beginning of the other video, the end of this video. So we're just going to do it in the middle next time. So
there we go. I love it.
All right. Cheers, guys. See you next time.
Bye.